So today we discuss the top 10 mistakes to avoid. Okay, that's very important. And before board exam, maximum number of students makes some mistakes. Okay, so here we discuss how to avoid that mistakes. Okay, first is the cramming at the last minute. Okay, so that means that someone try to learn the entire new chapter or concept in last 24 to 48 hours before the exam. That's really a wrong things, okay, because in last 24 hours before the exam or 48 hours or 2 days or 3 days before exam, you try to complete the whole chapter. That chapter is new for you, and you complete that concept and prepare the derivation. That's typically weird, so that's why you avoid that. Okay, and why this is bad? Because the overload your working memory and increase the anxiety and reduce the retention, ruin the sleep and recall the fragmented and formation under the stress. So that's why you just avoid that thing. Okay. And if you must be selective, you choose a just 2 or 3 chapter, ignore that, you just avoid that chapters. Okay. And if you have a 10 chapters in exam and you complete the 8 chapter, that's enough. Okay, I not need to complete 10 out of 10. Okay, if you complete that 8 chapter and perfectly, and you solve the all numericals or derivation or small concept, and you get almost full marks of that question comes from these 8 chapters. Okay, next, better approach used to last 2 and 3 days, enter only the revision of the already learned and the material and formulas and diagram and key points. Okay, that's very important. You learn the key points. Okay, this key point is very important. Okay, and you remember the key points like formulas. Okay, some derivation. That's suppose the key points like the important, some write a revision of notes, diagrams. Okay, learning material, revise your notes. Okay, neglecting sleep and physical health, that is very poor. Maximum number of students before that exam they study 24 hours, almost 18 hours and 20 hours, and very less amount of sleep, and that's the effect your physical health and mental health also. Pulling the all night nighters and surviving the junk food and caffeines, that's very bad thing. Okay, because the poor health condition, and if you are in tired in exam or any health issue in running during exam, so that's one of the most nightmares. Why is bad? Because sleep is when memory consolidation and happens, the exhaustion and impair of focus, and these are problem solving speeds, that's very poor. And if you need the extra and what you needed during the exam, so need the problem solving speed, and if you are tired the speed is much less. Okay, so before that, before exam, you just avoid the thing. Better approach to prioritize the 7 to 8 hours sleep. Okay, and especially at a night before eat exam, and before eat nutritious good meal and stay hydrated, not drink too much of water. Okay, next, ignoring the previous year paper sample. Maximum number of students ignore the PYQ. That is very bad thing. Okay, ignoring previous year paper or sample must do. That's the must do, the previous year paper or sample paper given that ISC or CBSE. Okay, yeah, exactly, or any other state sports. Mistakes are only the reading the textbook and notes without practicing the actual exam format question. Must be focused on exam format question. Okay, some objective question, short question. If you are reading textbook, that's very good thing. When you start your journey of class, starting journey of class 10, 12. Okay, starting journey is very easy and very, that's a very important thing to read the textbook. But before exam, just without reading, just without practicing, just only reading, and you forget the actual exam format question, that's a little bit difficult. Or if that you misunderstand the exam pattern, marking scheme, question trend, time management, theory knowledge, or exam performance. These are the very key point to making the good exam. Okay, you get a high scoring marks. The exam pattern, marking scheme, trending question, time management, theory knowledge, that's exam performance, that's very important. So better approach to solve at least last 5 years paper under the time condition in a single most effective revision strategy. At least last 5 years must be solved. Okay. So poor time management during the revision. Poor time management during revision. That's very bad things. Okay, some max and most students they not perfectly manage their time. Okay, set a very bad routines. Okay, the mistake spending the disproportionate time to favorite or easy topic and to avoiding the weak ones. Okay, must be doing maximum time to give your weak chapters. Okay, next, what is bad? They create a dangerous gaps between the exam. Often have the compulsory question from all sections. Keep in mind in exam if you have all question like a compulsory, there is a two group. Okay, group A and there is a group B. Okay, and this a group A is a compulsory group. Okay, and must doing this all from all chapter here from group A like a short question MCQ. Okay, so must be prepared for all compulsory question section and all chapters. Okay, better approach to create a realistic revision timetable week in the advantage on allotting the more time to challenging the subject or topics and stick to it. Must be a better approach to realistic revision. Revision is very important. Okay, revision is very important. Okay, not taking care of the exam logistics. Okay, maximum student forget the geometry box, pencil, eraser. Okay, not checking your exam center, is, forgetting the admit card, arriving late. That's very poor. That's very poor things. Okay, must be avoid that. Creating a massive and avoidable panic and during the ruin your mental state before the exam. Okay, you must be panic and ruin your exam mental state before the exam. So better approach to prepare your stationery cloth and admit card the night before and plan your route and aim arrive early. Must be arrive 15 minutes before the exams. Okay, maximum not 15 minutes. You get a question paper before the exam time 15 minutes. Must be 1 hour is suitable. Okay, which is for 1 hour before the exam. Over aliens and guides and short notes and alone and uh, reliance and skipping the main textbook or NCRT entirely and only study from guidebook. Maximum students they forget the state textbook and NCRT entirely. They're only solving that a guidebook or some Oswald's guidebook. They just only depend on things. But before exam must be follow the NCRT and your textbook like Newton's NCRT and solving the exercise and they and parallelly also follow the guidebooks. Okay, this parallel things is very important. It's bad because that a simply concept of board asks the nuanced and the concept of the question directly from the prescribed text. You miss the depth and diagrams. That's very important. Okay. Better approach to use the textbook for conceptual clarity and guides and notes for quick revision and practice. So starting continuously without breaking, that's a very poor thing. You must be solve this. Okay, 10 hours study marathon with no pause. You must need a break, small breaks. Suppose 1 hour you study and then suppose a 5 minutes break. Then 1 hour, then 5 minutes break. That's a very good thing. Okay, mind should be fresh. Okay. Next is a why bad because of it burn out the dismissing the returns and loss of the concentration, the lack of concentration and your brain need time to process the information. Okay. For better approach to technique the promoter 25 minutes study 5 minutes breaks or even I said the 1 hour 5 minute breaks. Discussing syllabus with friend right before the exam, that's a very good mistakes. Maximum number of students do this. Standing outside the exam hall asking your friend, did you study this chapter? Did you complete this chapter? What is the important question? That's very bad. And if you and that's a create a panic and this panic, and you are very panic, and you must try to solve that chapter, that concept right before exam. That's typically a bogus concept. Why bad is almost away from leads that discovering the topic you might have the miss and triggering the instant confidence loss and panic. Better approach to be confident in your preparation, avoid this discussion, stay calm, breathe, and focus on your own strategy. Number 9, misreading question and rushing in exam hall. Okay, a max number student do not understand what the question wants. Okay, what that question want, what is the answer and what is the key point. Okay, they misreading the question, rushing in the exam hall, and that start to write immediately after getting the paper, and misinterpreting the instruction like answer any three answer all. Maximum students solve that all four and then ask the teacher, sir, I will solve all this question, what can I do? That's very bad things. Okay, so first read the question, and before that in two groups, and I think group B said that you have choice. Suppose you have only for solving three question out of 4, 5, 6. Okay, you must be doing that. They lead the losing marks, and question actually no initial 5 minutes reading time is crucial. Okay, better to approach at first 10 minutes to read the entire paper carefully, choose your question, plan your order, start with your strongest portion, allotted time per section. Okay, letting one bad paper affect the next. Mistake. During the perceive the difficult paper, discussing every answer, losing focus on the next exam. After exam, maximum students, oh, what is the answer of this? What is the difficult paper? What is the discussion? Now calculate. I get these are correct marks. These are 2, 3, 5. They calculate the whole thing. But before that's the important things, and you can do this after complete the all exam. Before that, you have a next exam and focus the next chapter, next topic of your exams. Okay, next exam, focus on next exam. This is a very downward spiral, and you cannot change the past paper, so you may you can just forget that. Okay, so better approach once the exam is over, it's over. Do not discuss the answer in detail. Take a deep breath and relax a little bit, and then shift your focus entirely to the next subject. Last and bonus tip, ignoring the instruction, the answer sheet, not writing the all number correctly, not writing the roll number correctly. Maximum forget do not write a roll number. That's the very important. If you do not write a roll number correctly, and that's a totally loss. Using the wrong pen, not following the page or column formatting. Someone use the gel pen, and if you use the gel pen, and when the examiner check your paper and you put some 2 or 3 drop of water, and your ink is totally vanished. So just avoid that. So ultimate mantra is like that. It is a taste and be a preparation and composure. The student who are perform the best are often who do the manage the time and health and nerve entirely as they manage their syllabus. So you prepare for this, trust your hard work and for the pitfall, and just walk within a calm and confidence mind. All the best. Okay, the final is all the best. All the wishes to the best of luck for your exam. Okay, and you got this, what to and what not to do. Thank you.